And we're starting to get monologues, apparently, from the crowd.
The other people in the crowd know they can talk, right? It doesn't just have to be them?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you guys can also scream if you want. And taking it and running with it. I love that I can at least look at them. Brings me joy. So Evo Archer's out here early for Ruben, and Pandora responds in kind. Ruben's win rate here with a handful of win conditions. E-Giant, Mortar, GY, he's been perfect with, and that is an early nice connection, but Pandora takes it and makes the best of it by activating King. 24-72 as a Ram Rider is set up in the back.
NATO Bar Barrel as the spells from Pandora. Well, the help of the bowler is going to be important, but what I was going to say is just the NATO and the Bar Barrel, those cards are going to struggle against the Ram Rider. It's still going to be able to stay with the charge and get to the towers easily.
Honestly, I feel like those guys over there are pretty good on predicting. They called out Mortar, we got Mortar. They're calling out Bowler, we got Bowler. I don't mean to encourage them, but maybe you start listening.
Ruben, full on Elixir, goes with the archers in the back, allowing his troops to just take out what they can, but getting a full reset right there. And we're just seeing it again. Looks like E-Giant Lightning with the Baby Dragon instead of any Little Prince variation.
Yeah, Juicy was talking yesterday about why Baby Dragon has been showing up a little bit more, does not die to Lightning, so you can still get good value from that Baby Dragon, even when Lightning is in play, which we have seen a lot of Lightning, and Pandora leaking just a couple Elixir, trying to decide what he wants to do. He sets it with E-Giant in the back, heading right towards this Phoenix.
Ruben going to be responding with a Mega Knight of his own right there. And Ruben, I mean, these decks, the deck that Ruben is using is going to be so difficult to defend. He has to make sure that he's counter pushing and applying pressure opposite lane. He has to do everything perfectly. And right here, this is a good defense because of those Evo Archers.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good defense on the other side of it. And that's something that Pandora is going to have to be very, very vigilant of, is knowing exactly when those Evo Archers are in cycle so that he always has his NATO ready to pull them closer to the E-Giant, because if that is something that he's not staying on top of, that is going to make this a very, very difficult rest of this game.
No building for Ruben, so Pandora's going to have a somewhat easier time once Triple Elixir happens, if he can make it to Triple Elixir, to be able to just get very aggressive with these E-Giants and just, I mean, we've seen it before, just go E-Giant bridge, because once you use the NATO, pull everything in, everything's going to stun itself, and we're always going to see the E-Giants get into the tower.
And this is exactly what I was just talking about. Big shout out again to Juicy J. You see right there, Lightning comes down, Baby Dragon stays alive, helps clean everything up, 28-87 to 20-47. Ruben has run Ram Rider 15 times this year with a 67% win rate.
Tombstone Skelly is going to be able to protect it beautifully, especially with the help of the bowler. So right there, Mega Knight plus Phoenix. Will we see the Lightning in response? And we absolutely do. Another very clean defense right there, but the egg taken out fully.
And Ruben's happy to keep getting those Lightnings off the tower. He's already got great damage in. He's already got a several hundred HP lead. And as long as he can hold and Lightning at the bridge to stop pushes, he can sneak in that Lightning at the end with that damage lead. Talking about Pandora playing E-Giant, 25 plays on the season, his second most popular win condition with a 76% win rate.
Right there, Bandit taking out the Tombstone Foley. Are we going to see it push? And we absolutely do. Ram Rider coming down, and we are going to see the E-Giant placed directly on top. That way the Ram Rider stuns itself. A great E-Giant. And right there, Lightning misses the E-Giant. I'm not sure if he did that on purpose or not.
I think he was going for support troops. He got the Baby Dragon, and he got one of the Super Archers, or Evo Archers, excuse me, and we'll see if that was the correct decision to make, as this Archer should know. Perfect placement and timing with that Royal Ghost by Ruben. Does get a shot in, 25-93, narrowing that gap just a hair is Pandora as he sets up an E-Giant in the opposite lane.
Yeah, left lane going in with the E-Giant, Baby Dragon, and Bowler on the right. Archers to help out, but that's a lot of Lightning value. Will the Mega Knight jump? It does jump!
It does jump, and the splash is there. This should be it in game one.
He needs to NATO it off. He delays, gets the NATO, finally, but it jumps again!
It jumps again! The double jump from 1MK, and Ruben takes game number one.
Snowball going to take out the tower, the double jump, the NATO. I mean, the NATO needs to bring the MK off the tower, but I didn't really think that far. You also need to play another troop down.
Well, Hog Rider is the favorite win condition of both of these players, so at least a good shot for our friends over here.
Ruben, 7 wins in a row. Can he make it the 8? We shall see soon.
Pandora's run Hog Rider 37 times this year, but only with a 43% win rate. You go to Ruben on the other side of it, he's ran it 41 times, but with a 73% win rate. As this little prince snipes off that tombstone.
Ruben, after seeing the poison and the tombstone, you just have to assume it's going to be a splash yard type deck. You see the knight as well, Evo Knight, and Pandora just going to be looking at the quick cycle RGs. We're going to see if he takes a page out of Air Surfer's
That's just his
page and uses the hunter or the guards, one of those kind of variations.
Future king over here.
Right there. Ghost going to be able to defend that very nicely, taking out all of the support troops, but he's going to need a bigger response. Instead, has to force out the Fisherman. Will it be able to get the yank before the Little Prince takes it out completely? And it does. Clean defense from Pandora.
And I like this pick with archers and lightning out. This is a really, really nice pick. It matches up very, very well. We see an aggressive RG at the bridge with the Rage, and Pandora getting some great damage in. And Ruben, you can kind of see just scratching his chin going, what do I do to stop the bleeding? NATO comes in, which means only 1 elixir in the tank, and a great swing back here from Pandora.
Ruben setting himself up with the tombstone, but I believe that Ghost is going to be able to take it out fully unless he responds with extra troops. Right there, Barbell to protect the tombstone. We see how important it is to protect the tombstone with that last RG Evo push.
And I mentioned it at the beginning of this set, Ruben is perfect with Graveyard in this competition.
Bold and bashful.
And with the patience that we've seen
Future king over
from our former
here.
world champion, you like the deck pick, but we'll see how it fares being down about a half a tower here to Pandora, who is, I don't know what, is like more Fisherman than I've seen on the board in a while.
Wow, that is a value NATO right there, and he's going to be able to get slightly aggressive
Oh my
Baby Dragons
goodness.
and the Night Fisherman pulling it, but that's double Baby Dragons.
1 on the tower, poison comes down here for Ruben, and he is narrowing that gap as the second Baby Dragon will take out the Little Prince, so damage dealt, and Pandora tries to respond.
Rage coming in to help out the RG. Can he get the correct timing with the Barbell and the Garden? Will the RG get a shot? It does not. Perfect defense from Ruben, and he storms back into the game.
21-88, 15-17. As this Royal Ghost will create just a little bit of pressure, Pandora goes opposite lane. Ruben has 6 elixir to respond. What does he have to deal with this Little Prince and Guardian push?
Wow, and he only has 2
And look
elixir.
at that! Oh, Guardian turns around, but Royal Giant taking for Guardian. Now Guardian gonna be taking for that Royal Giant. And Pandora dominating game number 2.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to defend it. Does not push off with the tombstone. So that's another shot and another shot. We need to see what the big spell is, but it's going to be Fireball right there. Takes out the tower. Pandora gets game number 2. It's going to game number 3.
And here we go. Good luck coming out from both of these competitors. And some Spear Goblins at the bridge. Ruben ready to go with the log.
Yeah. Ruben still has Log, Earthquake available. We could see the Hawkquake cycle from him. Maybe the Royal Hogs. We've seen that earlier this weekend. And yeah, this makes sense. Ruben could be running RG, one of the best players in the world with RG. He started a meta just with how good he was with RG Healer.
Ruben has run RG 42 times this season, 21 each Evo and non-Evo. 76% win rate with Evo RG, and a 71% win rate with the regular RG. And we'll see if Pandora can hold on with this quick cycle deck.
Ruben, last 2 cards. We're gonna see Fireball and possibly a building, but I don't know. Only having, and there you go, Skeleton Dragons, that makes sense. Because only if you,
Oh! And a huge hit there. Skeleton Dragons out. Elixir in favor of Pandora, who just took a massive damage lead. Up now by just under 800 HP.
Skeleton Dragons, I mean, they're so strong when you use another card with it, when they're protected or when they're trying to snipe opposing mortars that are placed outside of the Crown Tower range. But sometimes they just don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't know their responsibilities.
And while Pandora has run wall breakers 25 times this season, his win rate with it is only 56%. So maybe Ruben was thinking he went somewhere else, something that he had a higher win rate. And we see Evo Knight plus Miner on top, trying to stop the bleeding as fast as they can. Now come out those Skelly Drags. We'll see how much of a menace they're going to be throughout this game. But that walking Evo Knight doing a great job here.
Firecracker trying to stay away with the help of the Esper. It will. It's still going to get more damage. Damage on top of the Crown Tower. That's important chip.
Yeah, good fortune there for Ruben as Pandora goes for that King Tower activation. Miner into that right-hand side, which is exactly what you have to do with this deck. You have to be very, very happy to change lanes, and you see it pulls those Skeleton Dragons out of Ruben.
Yeah, and right there, that is a massive error from Ruben. Because he misses the log on top of the Miner, it forces out the Skeleton Dragons over the middle. He could have tanked a bat damage and a little bit more shovel shots from the Miner. Instead, forces out those Skelly Drags.
Lumberjack in response to those wall breakers, obviously a negative trade. Pandora's not sure what to do with this influx of elixirs, so he gets Spears down just a hair late. As these wall breakers trying to create a little bit of space here, stop those Skeleton Dragons, and now good damage in here on this RG.
Yeah, Pandora controlling the match entirely right now, but we've seen it with all of these evolutions. I mean, you can control the game entirely, but if you just give up one good offensive push, it gets dangerous.
Free Elixir remains. A nice late log there by Ruben, helping that Lumberjack out. 1950 to 2482. Pandora is commanding this game, or at least in the driver's seat, but it feels like Ruben is maybe finding his bearings. And those spears were dropped in that Lumberjack, yeah?
Yeah, placed a little bit too early. Only one of the Spear Goblins survives, gets the left Crown Tower down to 17. 1647 is Pandora. And right there, another slight error. The E-Spirit, I believe, it jumped on top of the Miner as it was dying.
And Bat's tanking for those wall breakers, so Lumberjack has to come out. And an early fish boy here from Ruben.
And there we go. That is a great placement of the Firecracker. And right there, Evo RG on top of the Bomb Tower. Will he be able to get a second RG on the board in front of the Firecracker potentially? There we go. We absolutely see that.
And Evo Knight up high, Bomb Tower down late. Fisherman here to pull the Evo Knight away. Bat's gonna do a decent job because that Firecracker is distracted. And that was a very clean defense from Pandora, once again, who goes right back on offense.
Right there, forces out the log in response from Ruben. Fisherman not going to be able to get any value. Ruben just trying to set himself up for the double RG push. There is no other way for him to beat this gorgeous defense from Pandora.
40 seconds remain in one of these two 2023 career.
Lumberjack going to be able to go on the left lane. Skelly Dragons to help out over the right. We see the poison on defense. Bomb Tower should be placed in the middle, and there we go. This is the double RG push that he's been waiting for.
Evo Knight up high. Log comes in to take care of those spears. Firecracker distracted. This should be clean enough for Pandora. No, does get another shot. And the late Bomb Tower, 1503. 1451 needs to get a poison and a Miner down. Poison is in.
Going to apply pressure with the Skelly Drags. I think, no,